From the top, this is it. One bang, bum, 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 skia, pum, 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 pum. Being able to speak confidently, authentically, and precisely on camera is a freedom skill. It can open up doors to abundant opportunities. It can connect you with people for new relationships. And ultimately, it can give you an unfair advantage in the marketplace. Out of all of the skills that I've developed on my journey to unboxing the king within me, being able to talk on camera like this has served me so well. I would rank it as probably my second strongest skill behind writing. And being able to do this has led to some truly fruitful relationships. In fact, within my network right now, I have 5 or 6 relationships with men from all around the world that have grossed north of 6 figures in revenue, helped create and change many lives. And I've done those businesses with men I've never met in the 3D realm. Meaning my entire existence with them has been through the camera like this. And I believe as the world becomes more digital, with businesses offering remote work, with people working from home, people doing business and service purely through the internet, camera work like this is only going to be a skill that grows in priority. And I think there will be a huge separation between people who can do it and people who cannot do it. Those who can will have unfair advantages. They'll have more opportunities. They'll get access to better events and experiences. So I really highly suggest that you practice and you work to be able to elocute your thoughts, ideas, visions, beliefs, message through the camera like this and be able to project it into the world. It's going to serve you very well in almost every situation that involves digital communication. So my approach for improving on camera has been something I've been developing over the course of a decade, and it may be different to what you've heard before, and I want to share the philosophy in this video, and then the pure mechanics and the extras we'll do in other videos. So here's how I would suggest improving your on-camera performance and presence. So firstly, I'm going to look at the foundational pieces of what makes the camera work. And that is, firstly, understanding the mechanics of what is even really happening here. So there's the camera here, and what it's capturing is in the real world. This is the 3D realm. I can touch my knee, I can stroke my little bald head, and I can feel it. It's real. I can touch it. This is real world experience. And what the camera is doing is capturing this, and it's turning it into a 2D image, and it's sending it off into, depending on your spiritual beliefs, the 4D realm, the internet, for other people to interact with it on a 2D plane. So there's 2 different egos being captured here. There's the real ego, and then there's the projected ego. And you need to understand the mechanics of this, because this dictates, at least from my perspective, how we go about improving our performance on camera. Because what happens to most people is they say, oh, I can't go on camera, I don't like the way I look. Oh, I can't go on camera, I don't like the way I sound. And if you think about the mechanics, what is really happening here? It's that the person, the day-to-day ego, cannot make peace with seeing itself. And in this experience, rarely before the camera did we even have a chance to have our egos projected back to us so we actually know how we are being experienced in this world. And then the camera came, and now everybody can look. You know, you can record a video, put it on a laptop and hear yourself back. And if you cannot make peace with that ego, it doesn't matter what you do. Everything is going to struggle from that point on. So the first block in my pyramid to improving on camera is to understand the mechanics and begin to make peace with the ego. And that's a very healing journey. And that's why, for me, camera work like this is a healing journey. It's not just a tool. It's not just oh, you just go do that. It's like you've really got to understand your ego. You've really got to understand what you like, what you don't like, what's holding you back, what you can't make peace with. And as you heal that relationship, whenever the camera's on you, you won't feel the anxiety, the nerves of like, oh, what are people going to think? How am I going to look? How am I going to sound? You'll just know, because you know who you are. So this isn't a quick fix, unfortunately. Maybe not unfortunately, maybe actually that's better that it's not a quick fix. I don't know. But most camera tips I see are like, you know, practice and do 3 minutes a day and blah, 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 blah. But if you don't have peace with your projected ego, you're done. You're done for. So that's the first step, is make peace, go on that healing journey and sort that out. The second foundational piece is to understand that the energetic signature that I am projecting here now in the 3D touchable realm is going to be received and digested by anybody that's watching this video. This principle applies for interviews, Google Meets, business meetings, sales calls, anytime. The camera has an unbelievable way of capturing this energetic signature and showing out there, and whatever your energetic signature is going to be reflected back to you. So if I turn up to this video and I was like low energy and I was like, oh, I just feel like the business, you'd feel that energy, right? And then your actions, your interpretation, how you interact with that piece of content, that video experience would be determined by that energetic signature. So your goal to improve your on-camera performance and results is to work on that energetic signature and making sure that you live as a high energy being. Included in that, again, not necessarily a quick fix, because we're going to be looking at diet, sleep, mindset, support, friendships. The whole hog of what makes you is going to determine your energy level. But these two foundational pillars, if you just get these two right, everything else is going to fall into place very, very easily. Because if you are at peace with your ego and you live in a high energy state, you can put a camera on you anytime, anywhere, any conditions. And yes, you may need a warm-up, get the vocal cord going. Sure, you're still going to stumble here and there over a few bits and bobs, because we're all human. And other than me, we're not perfect. Cap. We're not perfect. We are all fundamentally flawed. But if you get those two pieces alone, man, you'll be shocked at how different it is. When you have those two pieces in play, then we can start to build on the more nuanced approaches of camera work. And this in the middle band here is going to be the tangible skills. So, for example, intonation, pace of language, pace of your speech. It's going to be your diction, so how you're actually pronouncing the words. And then it's going to be the more structural side of how are you forming the script that you're reading. So this is why it's connected directly with writing, and this will depend on the application. You're obviously not going to turn up to a interview with a script for a YouTube video. You know what I'm saying is these are more tangible structural elements of video work that you can work on, and there are obviously proven structures of script. I use the same one almost in every video, and you'll probably pick up on that. It's the what, why, how. It's very powerful. It's worked really well for me, and I could share that in another video. So you have these two pillars, and obviously they're underpinned by the first two, but this is where you get into the structural. And the purpose of what I want to get across in this video is the order is very important, less the actual specifics, because if you do them in the wrong order, you're going to be done for. It's going to be very difficult for you to grow as an on-camera performer. Not OnlyFans, just YouTube videos and instructionals and interviews and sales calls. But it probably would work for OnlyFans, not that I've ever done that. So we have that in play, and then the last piece of the pillar, at least as I see it, is the actual gear that you're going to be using. Because if you want to improve your on-camera performance, you're going to need eventually good gear. It's a really good investment. I'm probably in on this lens, camera, microphone, tripod, like $1,500, and I have a couple of them, different options that I built over time, and they work really well. This, for some reason, is actually not filming in 4K in this exact video, but usually it does. There was a memory card error or some bullshit. But having this actual high-quality studio grade where you can hear my real voice. If you have a low-quality microphone, you get like this tinny, the camera projects a different voice, and that's why when you listen back to it, you might not actually be hearing what you actually sound like because the microphone isn't good enough. But gear sits at the top of the pyramid, and mistakes I made early in my performance and camera work career is that I thought gear was the equipment and the camera itself was the linchpin. I thought I needed that first. So for a few years, I would just scour the internet looking for deals. And then as I started to increase my camera quality, I noticed my videos weren't necessarily increasing in quality. And I was like, this is odd. Maybe I've got this back to front. And then I flipped the switch, focused on making peace with my ego, working on my inner energy, the intangibles of diction, structure and such, and then added in, which the gear I already had, but that turbocharged, that was after the fact. So if you're looking to improve on camera and your camera performance, I wouldn't get too caught up in the weeds of the gear, because if this didn't work and I pulled out my phone and just recorded off that, I don't know, even it's an old phone, some pixel or something, is that I would bet my bottom dollar that I could still knock out a really high grade YouTube video because of the peace I have with my ego, the inner energy I carry with me everywhere, and my ability to talk at length, which are skills that I practiced. I would back myself with that. I wouldn't need the really quote-unquote expensive pro-grade performance gear, you know? So if you take this pyramid and you start to action on it and you work it through in this order, I really struggle to see how you wouldn't improve on camera and how you wouldn't get access to all of the benefits of being good on camera, which are pretty unlimited. And as I said, as the world becomes more digital, they're going to become even more sought after. You also have the advantage of a incredibly high perceived value, which I will make another video on because it's a whole concept that you do need to understand if you are going to get ahead in this world and live as a king. But having all of these elements in place means that you will be perceived as having a high value by just being you every single time, which is huge. So a technique that you can do to start making peace with your ego is every morning record yourself for 5 minutes on any equipment, phone, whatever, and then watch it back at night with a new set of eyes and be very objective and start to analyze where and why you are not at peace with that ego. What is it that's upsetting you? Is it the way you look, the way you sound, the way you are? Do you have some trauma that you need to work through? What do you need to heal? But getting awareness is the first step, and that's a really good way to do it. As for inner energy, just work out, dog. Just get working out. It's easy. Eat well, work out, sleep good. Just do those two and then track your camera performance. And obviously the more you do it, the more you practice, the better you'll get with those things in mind. And then just do that for 30 days. Do 30 videos. You don't have to publish it to anyone other than yourself. And then compare your day 30 performance to your day 1 performance, and you will be like, holy shit, this is crazy. I'm a completely different person on camera because I'm a completely different person in the real world. So that's my philosophy on improving on camera. I hope you found value here. If you have, please feel free to comment below and check out the links in the description for relevant guides and help for this sort of work and for the process of unboxing the king that lives within you. We have loads of good resources down there. I really appreciate you being here. I really hope that you can take this and start to become an on-camera hero, start bossing it, open up those doors, crashing in sales calls, just getting checks sent straight to your inbox, people wanting to work with you, all this good shit because you are good on camera. And that's what a king is good at. So much love. Thanks for watching. Stay free. Stay as the king you are meant to be. Much love. Peace.